Hey guys, today on Rebels Off-Road, I'm going to be showing you how to install these Tusk seat heaters into a side-by-side seat. And I'll also be giving a review on these seat warmers. It's getting cold up here and we kind of wanted to have those bougie type of seats. We ended up getting the Aces Racing seats. I believe they're the Apex seats and I'm going to show you them. But I'm also going to show you how to install these heaters in your own seats. And it's gonna be a little bit different depending on what type of seat you have, but it's really simple no matter what, and it shouldn't take too long to get these installed. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this and we'll see what it comes with, and I'll show you how to install it in your seat right now. Okay, so we got this box and open it up. Okay, and there are everything that's needed in this little Ziploc here. And set down the camera. Open up the Ziploc and pull it out and see what it comes with. All right, so you got your relays, your connections, got your lugs already soldered and shrink wrapped on there. Got some foil tape and zip ties, and then two heating element pads here, and one's gonna go on the backrest and one's gonna go in the bottom. So I got the Aces Racing seat here, and the bottom comes out and it makes it really easy for the lower part installation. So I'll show you what we got to do here, and it's really actually very simple. This is just Velcroed on here, so we're gonna pull apart the seam here all the way back and expose the foam pad, and then we're going to turn it over to the top portion and basically pull out the pad here. Now we're going to take one of the heating elements, unplug the connector here, bring it over. You want to orient the plug towards the back, and you want the heating element part to be on the part you're going to sit on. Once you have it about where you want it, there's these pieces of tape backing. You're going to pull them off, and then you're going to affix it to the cushion. So go ahead and pull them off, flip it over so the adhesive side's down, and place it where you want it. Smooth it out like that. And then we have these pieces of tape here. I'll peel off one of them, and this will help spread out the heat and also will help keep the heating element secured to the seat cushion. I'm gonna do one more on this side, and then we're gonna put it back into the upholstery. And it's gonna be the same basic thing, just gonna squish that in there, making sure that the heating element stays in the same spot, which it should. Yep, all good. Okay. And since this is going to be on the driver's side, I'm going to route the harness out this back corner here. But basically, we want to just stuff it and secure the Velcro back in place here. Now, why we want to route the harness to this corner for the driver's side is because we're going to probably end up putting the switch into the center console area, and so that will just make it much easier to route. There we go. Now the bottom is all installed, and now your butt will be warm. Okay, so next we have to install the other pad onto the seat back. And this one takes a little bit more effort, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so we're going to flip the seat up and over so we can access this area here. And these cords here are part of the suspension design. We're going to have to take apart all of this to take the seat cover off enough to place the heater. So we're going to do that right now. And I'm going to show you what we need to get at first. So if you reach up under here, there's a knot. It ties this cord up into, there's like an eyelet up in there. We're going to take this and untie it. There's also going to be one on the other side up here that you're going to untie. And then basically you can loosen up all of these cords here. That one's loose. So then on the bottom as well, there's going to be some ties that you're going to have to undo. And there's two. And now loosen all of that up, pull this part out like that, and then you can see some of the rest of the ties. Now this is Velcro. We're going to pull this back here and tuck it just out of the way, back there. And same thing for this one. Tuck it out of the way. And then you can see there are these little ties right here, there's one down there, and there is one right here. We're gonna start off with the upper ones there. And on these, you gotta be careful because they will start the fray if you aren't careful, and we will have to retie these later, so we don't want them to fray too much, or else it'll make it very difficult for them to be tied later. These are very tight, so you gotta be careful with it, and be a little difficult to get untied. You can see what I mean by the unraveling here. Be careful because you don't want it to unravel more than it has to. Untie this side as well. So same thing, gotta be very careful with this as well so that it doesn't unravel. That one came undone a little easier. On to the bottom one, and on the bottom one the tie goes through this little piece of material here, and then it also ties to the base rail there, and so it's going to be a little bit even more critical to not have this unravel too much, because we're going to have to use it for both of those attachments later on. Yeah, we are actually going to have to pull it through, and we'll have to reattach it later. I just realized, because this all needs to be flat down like that. Other side, exactly the same thing. You gotta undo that knot here. Go ahead and pull it through once you have there, and then we'll loosen up this one as well. There we go. Now that is all loose, there are actually two more ties that I forgot about, and that is right here and right here. So we're going to go ahead and remove those as well. Okay, now that one was the last one. You can now peel this up. Then once again, we're going to unplug from the harness other pad with the heating elements in it. Set the harness aside, get your pad all laid out. You want the harness part to face down and be able to route through the bottom of the seat. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little slot right there in the bottom. We're gonna put the harness through it. Slack away, and then we're going to fit it up how we want it. We're going to keep in mind that our cushion is going to go down in there, and the cushion has a thickness to it, so we don't want our pad to go all the way to the bottom, or else will be just heating up too low. We want it to come up all the way. Once again, we're gonna go ahead and pull off our adhesive backing here and put it up against the seat where we want it. So, let's see. It should go. Let's place it on nice and flat where we want. Now, we're also going to be using the aluminum tape, and we're going to put one at the bottom here, as well as one up at the top. And now we can just put down the whole cover again, and we'll start tying it back up the way it was. The ties, you need to be able to put them back through, and there's a little hole in there that you can push them down through the seat and then just feed them through. It's very hard to see. So there's the ties there, and you can wrap them around the tube here real nice and tight. And do the same thing for this one over here. So once this is tied here, we're gonna have to string it back through this here. So I'm going to use this little thread tie that came with the harness, held the harness together. I'm actually going to feed it through this. So once the thread tie is through, we're going to wrap it tightly around the cord here. And pull it with the cord back through the loop. So now she's gonna take this and help me tie the knot as well. And we're gonna go through the loop of the first knot. It is tied to the tube right there. And like that. And then tie it the first string of the cord from the other knot. Well, that was tied again. So now we're going to move on to the other side here, and we're going to do the same thing. So rather than showing you every single tie that we're retying, it's going to be exactly the same as the ones that you untied. You're going to be just retying them and trying not to fray them while you're doing that. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead to where we have them all tied, and we're going to give a review of these heaters. And so don't go anywhere. We're going to get right into that right now. So got all of the lacing back in. Got it all tightened down and tied up, and you're gonna go ahead and route these wires out through the side to where you're gonna be putting your harness. In this case, I'm routing it to the middle center console, and this is going to be the driver's seat. So this is what it's going to look like, and there's the heater pokes through right here. Not a big deal. I'm not using a 5-point harness. I'm actually using a 6-point harness, so this won't be used. However, this is a nice clean install. All right, so I got the heaters in the seat and the seats installed, and I have them on right now. And I gotta say, I am a little disappointed. They are not as warm as I thought they would be. However, they do keep your seat warm. Like when you're sitting down and you have that really cold seat, it does help with that, though it does not help warm you up as much as I thought.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Yeah, so I actually got the chance to test out these seats on the Hatfield McCoy trails, and what I found is actually they do heat you up a lot. In fact, it got to be very warm. And what I realized was I just didn't give it enough time to heat it up. These heaters take a while to heat up, but once they do heat up, it's gonna keep you warm. Your whole backside, your butt is actually very, very warm on the high setting, and on the low setting, it's very comfortable. So yeah, ignore that first part. They actually will keep you quite warm on your backside. All in all, I think it's worth the extra 40 bucks to go ahead and add them to the seat if you do any winter riding. However, do not expect them to keep you all the way warm like a heater would. It's only going to warm the seat, warm your butt. It's going to help with that a lot. Now, there are two settings. I believe up is the high setting, and then all the way down is the low setting. To turn them off, it is the middle, and the light will go off then. And so that is off. High, I believe, and then low. Check out the Tusk seat heaters. I will provide a link down in the description. If you enjoy this kind of a bougie ride feel, these are worth adding. That's it for today's video. Go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.